Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another pre-market live stream strategy session. Talk about the market, help you improve your trading skills. Now, what do I mean? Let's look at yesterday. I came on yesterday. I was talking about one stock, Palantir. I mentioned my plan yesterday was to wait for the dip, buy the dip, expect Palantir to go up. Now, let's remember, the market struggled yesterday. If you saw Palantir, low of $15.12, high of $15.73. Now, did I trade Palantir yesterday? No, because I actually thought the market was going to drop. I got involved with some SPY puts. That's what I have on here. Now, I didn't do the best job with my SPY puts, and I'm going to share that. I told you guys, well, people on Discord, I told you exactly what I was looking at yesterday. I put my watch list up there. Too bad I decided not to trade that early because Palantir went through the roof early. I got into some SPY puts. I sold, I took profit. I re-entered the SPY puts. Now, why did I re-enter? So if I go to Matt's alerts, and again, my alert from yesterday morning, let's just see where it was. Market update. Okay, right here. We had light volume yesterday at 1044. The top of the SPY range from the high to the low was only 1.8 points. Now, I'm expecting at least a 3 to 4 point range. I told you that pre-market yesterday. So if you wanted to be bullish, I told you 446 was a possibility because 442 would be the low. If you want to be bearish, I told you 440 was a possibility because 444 was the high. So again, if you get back to my trades, and I already traded that once, I got into some more SPY puts, right? $215. They expire on Friday. $214, $202. Now these went to $197. Now understand, these are $444 SPY puts that extend out till Friday. Yesterday, we saw the drop I was looking for. Again, I got into them yesterday. These SPY puts went to $485 a contract. In at $207 on average. When did I get out? $224 before the spike. So, good strategy. And this is what I wanted to share with everybody. Not only do you have to do your homework, you have to have good strategy and proper execution. So me yesterday, right? Good strategy. Low volume, expected the market to drop to 444. Got involved with some, 440. Got involved with some 444 SPY puts out till Friday. Looked at the chart, grabbed around the low, which was $200 per contract, expecting them to go up. All right. Great strategy. Great entry. Added as it was dropping to 202, went down to 197. Now, poor execution. Poor execution was I was watching the SPY and I saw a huge institution do a large block sell order at like 11 o'clock a.m. And I said, shit. No, they were buying the market. Sorry, they were buying the SPY. And I was like, shit, if the SPY goes up and I'm in puts, I'm going to be hurting. Let me secure profit and get out. So I secured profit. I made 7% yesterday. However, those SPY puts from my exit point of 224 went up to what? 485. Let's just say I got out at 450. You're talking about $250. I had 4 contracts. That's an extra $900. The small account that I'm trying to grow started with $500 is up to $1,300 right now, would be at $2,200. Remember, the goal was $3,500 in 5 weeks. I'm only 1.5 weeks in. Almost 2 weeks in, I'm 500 to 1,300 playing it safe. So again, I played it safe yesterday, had the right idea. Now, what else did I do? All right. Well, after I sold these and they went through the roof, I was looking at, here's me finishing green, right? I was like, now here's the other thing. As I'm looking at this chart, I'm like, these things are still going to go higher, right? And then I bought an Amazon call on a whim, on a freaking whim. And then what happened? The market dropped. Amazon 136 on its way down. Whoa, these Amazon calls are at 121. I entered at 160 something. I was off $40 or 25 or 26 or 27%. Now those SPY puts are still going up, but I said to myself, I actually liked Amazon. I added a few more calls at 123. Now I don't know why I didn't put it for 120. These went down to 115. Now at 123, I added 44 calls from my larger account, spiked to 161. Now what happened? I had to take my daughter to the orthodontist. So what did I do? I said, I'm going to sell them for 175. It better damn get to 175. So what happened? It made it all its way to 180. I got out. Now, after 180, what happened? Shit, Amazon dropped down to like, I think a dollar flat, which is the reason you all, and if you're watching this, all right, you must use cash accounts. You get into a killer position. You get killer entry. You're in at 10:50 a.m. You call the bottom. That shit is spiking up. You're up like 50%, 70%. Now you see the market turning. It's 2:20 p.m. Nothing goes straight up or straight down. You're seeing it turning, and you could secure 86%. But you're like, I don't want to use a day trade. I can't use a day trade. It'll get me suspended, right? PDT. No, you must switch to a cash account. Robinhood offers it. Moomoo offers it. Webull offers it. Everybody offers a cash account. Next, patience. Yesterday, I mentioned the word of the day was patience. So I went into yesterday not knowing. I'm looking at calls. I'm looking at puts. I'm looking at calls. I'm looking at puts. I'm like, told myself patience. I was looking at Palantir. Palantir spiked right out of the gate. It dipped to 15.12. I told you all yesterday pre-market, I was looking for the dip and then the explosion. It went to 15.73. Shit, I missed the run. That's why I went over to SPY puts, because I was like, volume is so light. And I was watching other trackers, Apple, Tesla. Remember, a few days ago, probably a week ago, I mentioned Tesla could drop to 228. It was 242 then. 228. That's $14. It dropped to 226. All right. All right. Next, let's talk about what's going on in the market today, how I'm going to help you trade better. All right. So again, US dollar. All right. US dollar was 103.50 yesterday as the market was dropping. The 10-year interest rate is at the highest level since 2017. So if you think the market's just going to rebound, oh, it's oversold, it's just going to rebound. Yeah, it could happen for one day if you're thinking and if the market agrees with you. But understand, as the US dollar continues to rise, as interest rates on the 2-year, the 10-year, the 6-month, the 5-year continue to go up, it provides investors with other opportunities. Oh, I can make 5%. Let me pull my money out of the market. That's how liquidity leaves the market. There's other opportunities out there, especially with the market being as frothy as it is. Now, people say frothy. We were just at like 460 on the SPY. We're at 440. That's 20 points. That's 5%. It's been pretty quick. Yes, I understand that. But who's to say we don't have more to the downside? So, how did I decide puts over calls at the time? Again, I shared with Discord. I made a video about it, and the video was basically volume was extremely light. I tracked volume. I looked for spikes in volume, and the spike in volume, which showed me a buy yesterday, is why I exited out of my puts. But understand, light volume, that tells me a reversal is not only imminent, but is likely. Now, if you saw the SPY going up on heavy volume, we had $104 million volume day, 104 million volume day. Now, how do I gauge that? I look at the SPY. By 10 a.m. to have a busy day or a heavy volume day, you need to be at least 10 million. By 11 a.m., you need to be at least 20 million. On busy days, we see 20 million on the SPY volume by 10:40, 10:45. On shitty days, you'll see 32 million at 1 p.m., right? That's it. It means it's slowed down. That means any influx of volume can shoot the market down or up 1 or 2 points to the next dark pool level. All right. Yeah. 10-year higher. Oh, 2007. Did I say 2017? You're right. Yeah. I leave it same way I spell. I leave off letters. YOLO margin before where's margin calls NFA. Good morning. Hey, if you guys like what I do, please thumbs up. All right. So let's go back. Let's go back to Discord real quick. Why? Because we're going to look at some algorithms for today. Let's not go to. All right, so here's what I was talking about. I think I showed you that. Okay, so let's go up to the algorithms. If you don't know how to, all right, you go to the how to. It tells you how to type in the commands. So you can type in dark pool levels. You can type in big flow, flow sum, unusual flows, the algos. All right, so here's how I like to start off each day. I like to see how the market ended. So you want to see how the market ended. So I'll look at the net flow for the entire market, and I'll type in 3 because it'll take it back 3 days. If I just look at one day, it's me zooming in. I'm looking at one scenario, how it ended yesterday. If I go back 3 days, I kind of get a gauge or a range on that. All right, so let's bring it up. All right, you guys can see that. Thank goodness. Sometimes I talk, it's not even there. So what do we look at? When you look at this, all right, market net flow. Again, we're going back 3 days, okay? So you had the SPY 444 up to 448, closed at 440. So we lost 2% in the last 2 days. Now, at the same time, the market's dropping. What do you see? Are they giving up on calls? No, they are not, but the volume is coming down as the volume of puts and the net premiums for puts are spiking. So that's extremely bearish to me. And I only say it's as bearish as we've seen. So do I believe this future spike? Well, the US dollar is dropping, okay? The US dollar is dropping. The 2-year, the 10-year, they kind of flattened out a little. So yeah, futures are like, okay, we buy the dip. That's what we've been taught to do. We're still in a bull market. We're buying the dip. Now, if I had to give you a scenario of how I thought the markets would play out today, well, let's look at the SPY right now. Oh, and I want to share one other thing. I can't show you the screen right now, but understand I've got Boeing on my other screen, and I'll show you charts in a little bit if you stick with me. All right, I'm going to be here for another 15, 20 minutes. I'm going to show you some charts before we go of different stocks that I'm looking at and what I see volume spikes and how I either get interested or disinterested in a stock or a play. Let's remember, on my watch list, I probably have 12 different option contracts that I'm considering getting into today, both calls and puts. If I think the market is going to start out, and here's my scenario, how I see it playing out. SPY sitting at 440, pre-market, we're probably 440, 150. I'll have to look at the dark pools, but I can see the market getting bought up for the first 10 or 20 minutes of the day, maybe even 15 minutes, going up to 442 flat, something like that, rejecting, right? And then we drop right back to 440 wherever we closed yesterday. Okay. Now from there, it might get bought up again, or it might be a double dip where it sells off, and we might not see the worst until 11:50 a.m. I'm not sure yet. That's why I'll use my charts. I use the 1-minute chart as a sniper tool. I use the 3-minute chart to help confirm for me, and I'll use the 5-minute chart to help me find the right entry. Remember, just because I see a sniper or I see it turning around or a reversal, I don't get right in. I'm looking for the best entry. You're looking at an option. It goes down to $1. You're like, okay, dollar was the bottom. It shoots up to $1.20. It was $1.70. Shoots up to $1.20. You're buying at $1.20, $1.24, chasing. I'm saying, okay, I'm looking for it to come back down. Maybe it doesn't touch $1 again, but maybe it touches $1.03 or $1.04. Let me buy 5 contracts at $1.03, 5 contracts at $1.04. When the market gives up, it comes right back down and then does a little W real quick. And most people don't have time. They're still on their phone like, okay, I'll put in at $1.04, and it's like $1.03. Bump, now it's $1.07 again. So then the person's like, okay, I'll put in for $1.07. Nope, not $1.07. It's $1.10. So you end up chasing, which is why planning is so important. All right. So again, we were talking about how the market ended. I get sidetracked. There's a ton of shit I want to share with everybody to help you process the market. Okay. So what am I seeing here? Again, extremely bearish. I'm going to let this open up for the first hour of the day. I won't look. What else do I like to look? I like to look at the, not the big flow. I mean, we might as well look at the net flow for the SPY, see what that looks like as well. Again, we'll go out 3 days. I like to look at the top flow. The top flow is one I was thinking about. That'll tell me the most traded contracts, both to the bullish side and bearish side yesterday. All right. So here we go. Let's just go and look at the SPY. Okay. Now, before the market dropped, what did they do? They loaded up on puts. So if you're following this, okay, the market dropped right here. 10 minutes earlier, they're loading up on puts. They knew the market was going to drop. So some people are going, oh, this is a reversal. I'm going to buy right here. I'm going to buy. And a lot of you might have got caught right here at 442 and change, which is the reason I think we might reject this same level, 442. So if the market opens green and futures are green, which we're seeing, all right, I'm looking at 442. Again, I would use dark pool levels. Let me just see what happens after the 8:30 data drop this morning. I just want to see what the market's doing right now. Yeah, it's still strong, right? Up 0.4%. Qs are up 0.47%. DraftKings up 1%. Alibaba up 3%. All right, yeah, we're going to look at a whole bunch of stocks after that. Okay, so let me just remove this. Stop sharing it. Let me add it to the screen, share, and we'll look at actual charts now, and we can go into it. So here's the chart I wanted to share to start off. Add to stream. I wanted to share Boeing. Now, why did I want to share Boeing? Okay, because I saw volume yesterday. I was like, they're buying end of the day. Maybe $230 was the bottom. Maybe I can get into some Boeing calls. Now, if I get into some Boeing calls, and I'm not going to, and I'll tell you why. And I said, we have a green day. If we have a green day, Boeing can pop right back here to like 235. And I was looking at the 230, 250 calls that were under $1. And I'm like, if it goes 235, those calls will be up like 200%. Now, here's the reason I did not, and I will not buy Boeing today, because I use the flows and algorithms, same way I just showed you that chart I was looking at I use the flows and algorithms in Discord, and I was like, let me check out Boeing. So I said, whoa, call options. There are a lot of call options out there. That must be bullish. And then I said, let me see if they're buying or selling them. So what they are doing is they are selling Boeing call options. Institutions are selling you Boeing call options. Why? They're banking the premium. So although Boeing might not drop, all right, I don't see it shooting up to the 235, 236 level, which is the play I was looking to get into. So more or less, now I'm thinking to myself, okay, if they're selling call premiums on Dow stocks, then if the Dow kind of hovers, the NASDAQ might get bought up, but only to a certain extent because they were selling Apple and Tesla pretty hardcore yesterday. So if that happens, I'm going to wait for the best pop today, and I'm going to re-enter puts. Why? It worked for me yesterday, and I was a puss yesterday. Yeah, I can say it. I was a pussy. I was in 4 SPY puts, in at $2.07 on average, sold at $2.24, was happy. I secured my 7% on the day, took my account higher, and those same option contracts went up over 138%. And I had 4 of them, and that's a small account. So again, the small account in my mind should be not 1,300; it should be at 2,200. I should be talking about how I'm up 300% in less than 2 weeks. All right, and how am I up whatever percent? I'm up 130% in less than 2 weeks, 140%. Here's how I do it. Number 1, patience. Number 2, cash account. Number 3, when I enter into a position, I enter and I buy 2 contracts. I buy them at $220. They drop, and I still like my strategy. They drop to 208. I bought another one at 208. Then it drops to 204, another one at 204. Before I close my eyes, it's now at 236. All right. So I'm going to be right. And that just gives me better entry and an easier target to exit. If my average cost is lower, I don't have to wait for that 100%. I can be like 25% in, out, secure profit. All right, let's take a look at some charts, okay? If you guys want me to look at any charts, you could tell me, all right? We will bring them up. All right, so add to the stream. Let's see what we got here. Let's make it bigger than that. Where's the bigger one? Oh, they all disappeared. No, maybe here. New layout. Nope. Holy shit, did I just get rid of that? Let's cancel that. All right, so I have no clue what the hell I just did. Let's see if I can make it larger. Okay, perfect. So now we're looking at some charts. I've got the 2-hour chart. I'm actually going to go down to the 5-minute chart just so we can talk about it. So I'm looking at Boeing yesterday. Boeing started off. Again, they were buying it. This is why I thought maybe if the market is green today, or at least for the first half of the morning, I might get a big bounce off Boeing. And that's why I looked and saw they were selling Boeing calls, not buying them. So I said to myself, okay, not Boeing. Then I've got energy. I'm looking at energy spiking pre-market. Let's remember it rejected right here. In fact, so if I was going to look at energy puts, I would want to get in at $88. I would not get in anywhere here. So again, if the market spikes up and I'm looking at puts, and I'm going to go out to, and these are just different stocks. I looked at PayPal. PayPal looks strong. Jim Cramer's in PayPal. I used it last week. I don't want to get in that. Q's 363 was a key level that I told everybody. The fact that we're at 364, we could easily shoot up to 366. In fact, this 360, just under 366. So if I was going to look at any type of bearish position today on the Qs, I might say 366 would be my opportunity time to get in. But I need to see rejection. I need to go to the 1 minute and the 3 minutes. So the 1 minute here, right? Where is it? Right here. You're telling you spiked, rejection. You're looking at the doji here. You're looking at the doji here. You could have said it was going down. Okay. I might have thought here that it was going up again because the doji was pointing me that way. It did go up. It just gave you time to re-enter. So if you're zooming out, you're looking for better entry for your puts. You're not chasing. You're looking at puts right here. You're not chasing. You're like, man, I hope I get entry. Well, you do. You get entry right here. So that's how you trade. Anytime you get the idea, please don't chase. Again, the SPY, what would make sense? I've got it right here. 442.40. We rejected. Maybe we might reject 442. All right. So what will I do? Use dark pool levels. I thought about United Airlines the other day because I saw some buying. However, when I zoom out and see what they're doing with Boeing, United looks terrible, and it still looks terrible. Unfortunately, it will rise back up to 55, but it might have more to go first. So again, I'm just looking for plays today. Again, I might go with the play yesterday with this Palantir dip, or I just might go with SPY puts when the SPY tops out or the Qs top out. Alibaba, I don't want to get involved with. Again, Chinese company, China doing all these stimulus things, which will make the stock go up, but it'll probably be sold off. It'll probably be faded. Rivian, I mentioned support was $21.19. Well, anytime you drop down there, you saw some pretty heavy buying, right? $20.40. Even here, 2076. Where did it go up to? About 2019, right? $21.19. Same here. It rejects that level. It also has support at 21. Doesn't mean it can't drop 3% or 60 cents each way. All right. There's a lot of action with that one. Now, here's what got me with Apple. They were buying it yesterday morning and they were selling the shit out of it yesterday afternoon. Does Apple have more to go down? Probably. I mean, honestly, let's look at the 2-hour chart. Well, shit, they were selling it here. We gapped down. So Apple will fill this gap at some point. Well, isn't that bullish, Matt? Yes, but it can go down a little more first. Again, I'm just looking for some type of strategy to come across me today. Tesla, do I want to be in Tesla 227? No, I mentioned Tesla puts on YouTube a number of days when it was at 242, 238. I mentioned there was a dark pool ghost zone down to 228. Well, we hit 228. Shit, we hit 225. So coin, I don't want to touch. Meta was interesting. I almost got in some calls at 300. Boy, that would have been stupid. I saw the heavy volume yesterday morning. So I do believe Meta, and again, I would have to check in the flows and algorithms, but I believe that Meta was somewhat bullish. Google, I saw was bullish, and Google ended with a huge end of day buy here. But if I can get Google after a drop like this, I would get in. So let's say I got in Google here we go. I get in 128.5, 130 is a good exit, right? So what did you make it there? No, just a little short. You're only going for 1.5 these days. The market is a lot more tricky. Yeah, you know what they did to NVIDIA yesterday? It was up like $4-6 pre-market. It ended up down, I think, $8 on the day. So I don't really buy this pre-market shit. You could see as soon as it opened yesterday, right here, tall doji, 446. Then it traded 445 to 443. At 442, I thought about getting into puts. It was still really early in the morning. Right here, what would I have done if I got in puts right here? Not only would I have lost my time, okay, the time, and you're paying a lot of IV, but I would have been scared here. I would have been happy on the sell-off and then scared again, right? And then I would have been waiting like I was with my SPY puts, and I sold. So before that big freaking drop. So that's why the SPY puts. All right, DraftKings. Interesting again. I've been mentioning DraftKings. Although the algorithms don't say it's turning around yet, I'm looking at these huge volume buys here, and they bought all the way up to $30 after great earnings, all the way to $28.75. So the fact that DraftKings keeps selling off on lighter volume, one of these days, when the market settles, unless it throws up on itself, when it settles and we have that reversal and we start being bullish again, you're going to see DraftKings at $30, $31. So that could be more of like a September trade. You go out 3-4 weeks, something like that. I've got Uber. I haven't traded Uber yet. Disney looks like it could be turning around. Again, if you joined me yesterday, I think I mentioned $84 and change for Disney. Palantir, again, the huge volume kind of like got all the hands out. Then we saw some buying for a number of days, which told me it had a nice base. And then again, the flows and algorithms agreed. So where did it drop to? We had that huge drop, 1674. So if I was going to get really bullish, I would say, 1674. I would say this one has another dollar to run. So again, on bull days, if we drop and we find support on the SPY in the market, I'm going to look, my first look is going to be at Palantir. Of course, I have AMD up there as well. Why? Because here's what confused me yesterday. AMD was down 2.5%, okay, early morning yesterday. NVIDIA was up 1% yesterday, okay? Palantir was only down 1% yesterday. I like when there's some congruency. Congruency means like you're looking at Delta, United Airlines, and JetBlue, and they're all off between 3 and 3.5%. You're looking at Mara and Riot, and Coin, and they're all off 4 to 4.5%. Yesterday, when NVIDIA was green 1%, AMD was red 2.5%, and Palantir was red 1%. I was actually thinking about hopping into Palantir, and then I said, no. What if NVIDIA drops down to negative 1%, then AMD would be minus 4%, and then Palantir would likely be minus 4% or even worse. Shit, my entry could be terrible, which is why I stayed away from it yesterday. If you like it, please, thumbs up. Fredo, I like Amazon puts still. Thoughts? Okay, here's where I'd be careful. The Qs could be oversold. You could get that one-day bounce. So if you're thinking Amazon puts, first you better have good reason. Look at the chart. Make sure you have good reason. And then I would definitely give yourself more than enough time to be right. See, for me, rather than trading Amazon today, which I traded yesterday, I've got to decide, here's how I trade, Okay, the first thing I do is I let the market play out for an hour. Then I come up with my hypothesis, right? Oh, the market's going to dip, it's going to bottom, it's going to go up. I want to be in a bullish position. Or the market looks too frothy, volume slowed down just like yesterday, and I expect the market to drop. That was yesterday. So again, I let it play out. So then I come up with my strategy. If I say the market's going to drop, I'm looking at puts. So if I'm looking at puts, I either want to go SPY, SPX. I want to find something that maybe became overinflated or something that's extremely speculative that has negative flow towards it. Let's remember Upstart, when Upstart was $62 a couple of weeks ago, had such negative flow. And then Upstart went down to $32, right? Those puts I was looking at went from $6 to $2,400, $600 to $2,400. Again, they were crazy expensive, but now I know why. So yeah, I mean, my watch list, let's go into my watch list since we have time. Top of my watch list, I've got AMD and Palantir. Why? They're both up 0.51% and 0.58%. So yesterday, it's exactly what I mentioned. They need to be congruent. So I will be watching those. If I get a dip. Now let's talk about the SPY, okay? So the SPY, you had 2 heavy days selling, 2 heavy days selling. Prior to that, 2 lighter days of buying. So understand, looking at volume, I got to say, I'm still a bear. So if we're going to do that and look at the SPY, then here's what I'm going to say. I make some assumptions. The SPY on Mondays and Tuesdays trades under or 3-point range. On Wednesdays, it tends to trade a 5-point range. On Thursdays, 4.5, 4-point range. So I say, okay, SPY closed at 440. If I expect 442 to reject, and I say 4-point range, that means we can see 438. Okay, let's go the opposite way. Let's say the market sells off to open and goes back to 440 and finds support, or 441. Let's just say 441. So it drops, goes to 441. You see some heavy volume, heavy support. 441 being the low, you say 4-point range today, we're going to see 445. Now, again, understand as the US dollar goes up, which it hasn't, it's gone down since yesterday. All right. And again, I'll show you a share screen. I'll show you on Discord. Why not? And if anybody has any questions, again, I'll bring them up so we can look at them. All right, Discord, right? You guys can see a nice big picture. Let's make it even bigger for you, okay? Let me find Discord again, and let me go over. Where did I put that? Up there in public trading. All right, public trading again. So anybody can see this. Public trading. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Here's the post I made from this morning. All right, S&P oscillator. All right, hit minus 100 today. In the last 4 years, only one time did the S&P 500 not rally 4%. So how many times did it happen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 90% of the time, within the next 30 days, all right, the S&P will likely rally 4%. So within 30 days, okay, there's a 90% chance that the S&P is going to rally 4%, which means SPY at 440, rallying 4% would be 18 points. So 458. So there's a likelihood with 90% chance, just based on historical data, that within 30 days, you're going to see the SPY back at 458. It doesn't mean I'm bullish today. It doesn't mean that. I still think I would love to see more selling, all right, before we see turnaround. I like the way the market reacts every day. We sell off, we find the bottom, we rebound partial. So if we sell off 4 points and rebound 1 point, I'm making that 1 point every day. Sell off. See, today it's a little confusing. Futures are actually green. Numbers came out at 8:30. It didn't shoot the market down. That's why I'm going to say I'm going to let the market tell me when it wants to react. I'm going to watch the market. I showed you guys I use TradingView. I'll use the S&P. I'll use the 1 minute chart. Again, the 1 minute chart, if they're still buying, then I condense it to a 3 minute chart, buying. If I see a reversal on the 1 minute, I go to the 3 minute. If the reversal is not prevalent on the 3 minute, that means they're still buying. It can still go higher, and I am early. So times I like to look to buy. Things are either at their best or worst, generally around 10:50 a.m., 11:20 a.m., maybe 11:50 a.m. By one of those 3 times, I'm in a position. If you want to follow my trades, I'm on Discord. If anybody that wants to come to Discord, I haven't posted this today. Carlos is not around, so I will do everything myself. All right, here we go. Boom. There it is. All right. We have a free platform up top. Then we have the paid service. The paid service is the institutional feeds, the things that I showed you, the flows and algorithms. Why? Because we pay trading ticks for them. We pay trading ticks so that you guys can get it. Rather than you all paying $100, we offer you the same institutional fees for $35. Now, I love them. Why? Because I just showed you. If I wanted to get bullish on Boeing today, there are a lot of Boeing calls being sold. Being sold is actually a bearish sentiment. It means institutions are selling you Boeing calls. So I'm not doing that. Again, my strategy today, I'm going to let the market play out for at least an hour and 15 minutes. 9, 10, 10:45, I'm going to check the market net flow. And what does that mean? Anybody that wants to check with me, I wish I blew it up a little bigger. All right, let's do it one more time. I'll show you. It's not going to be in the public section. It's going to be in the flows and algos. Here's the how-to. Here's the flow and algos. I'm going to do like this. TR market. You can't do it all capitals. It's very TR market net flow. And I'm going to do it like that. And then I'm going to type in TR DEX Z SPY levels. What does that tell me? It tells me 0 days to expiration, what most of the exposure is. So right now it's 443. This is great that I'm sharing. So what's likely to happen? The market is likely to get bought up to 443 this morning. The 440 level, you can see the green, that's usually support. So you want to look at this during the day, okay? Because if this drops down to 438, then there's likelihood we can go down to 438. If this right here at 443 opens up at 447, this comes this long, then there's a chance we go right back to 447 where we were yesterday. But right now, this tells me on market open, yeah, I think 443 is in play. 443 is in play. So, I mean, we'll see. I don't like the chance of the market open. I'm probably a watcher today, because I just want to be a winning trader. That's the whole thing. I just want to be a winning trader. It means I could enter a trade at 3 p.m. and be out at 3:30 and make $300 and be like, I'm a winning trader, or make $500 from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock and be out. It doesn't mean you have to be an active trader. In fact, that was my downfall. When I used to be an active trader, I used to try and tell everybody market's going up, then it's going to turn around, go down a little, then it'll stop right there, go back up. Man, that was so difficult and so ridiculous of me to think I could just time everything about the market. The market's hard enough as is. So you get your strategy, and then you wait. You have patience. You wait for the entry. As it's dropping, you're looking for that entry. You're easing in, scaling in, 1 contract, 2 contracts, 3 contracts. You saw the turnaround. You saw support. So that's what you guys do. Have a great day. I'm off to Discord.